the air, she can't do a damn thing about it because that back air is big, but it's not bigger than Incineroar's arms.
You just gotta hope that you are plus enough to deal with it, or and Daisy in this case. Which, hey, you know, strong hit nair, -2, free pressure onto shield, but how much can you take? Like, how perfect are you gonna be?
Getting off the ledge is going to be, I feel, the most difficult part of this matchup for the Incineroar, because what are you supposed to do when Peach is ledge trapping you? Never mind, I guess you just do that. You just crush chop out of disadvantage and return to stage. Bleeding but alive.
Yeah, armor will certainly swing games in swing games in favor depending on how many times he's allowed to get away with things like cross chop or like the darkest variants as mentioned prior. Because 141 to 65, this is quite a bit of rage, and one of those rolling whips may prove detrimental. That's two cross chops he got away with.
Even game.
Yeah.
Like, actually even game. You look at the numbers, and you think to yourself, wow, this Daisy's cooking. You think at the stock lead, you thinking, wow, this Daisy's cooking. I'm still looking at a Daisy that's like 2 hits away from an even game.
Oh, is that really Incineroar's item toss? That's kind of...
terrible, yeah.
That's kind of really bad. I find it so funny to look at item toss frame data as we see like Daisy combo. Great match to break out. But it's surprising how bad item toss frame data can be. Like Pikachu, for instance, terrible item toss. It's like, wait, the one thing this character has bad is his item toss?
Yeah, no, it's funny because lately Diddy Kong has been the talk of the town.
Good reason.
Especially here on DNA. But oh, there we go. We're off the top. There she goes. You want to know what to do with an item when you have it. Some characters just don't really have a say in it. Like, you think of all the sorties. I'm pretty sure the only one with a notable item toss is, like, Robin. Everyone else, which, you know, makes sense given that they summon items. Everyone else, pitiful. Actual gutter trash. It's a weird bit of balance that the game introduces. But, man, here's a matchup where you get a chance to see it in full effect, and oh my god, that was the furthest reach possible.
This game's even.
Ladies and gentlemen, even game.
He may have more than double his percent, but it's even.
Actually, you know, one makes the argument that with Incineroar with stage control on Battlefield, no less, this is not an even game. This is Incineroar's game, and this is an Incineroar in the lead.
We're living in Incineroar's world. Yeah, these dash attacks, as quick as they start up, Incineroar will live a certainly long time. That revenge was greedy, but he still is surviving.
So
okay.
Back throw has anything to say about it? Yeah, no. That's a bomb.
His luck has been amazing!
I think the only thing that would have gotten the job done just as easy was like maybe Leaky Face and Stitch Face. But holy crap, for him taking an excellent chance of their own and starting to take this match back.
I love these rising nairs that he's been doing just to try and further de-incentivize floating out of hit stun. Like, there will be a lot of moments where, especially on stage, ForHim will just float wherever they are. And Shaine is really making them reconsider something like that to try and force them to stay in disadvantage, which, as you mentioned, on Battlefield, can be a long time. Sayonara.
Yep, there you go. Oh, that was excellently played on the latter half by Shaine. Game 1 going handedly in their favor, and even though I feel like ForHim had played out the matchup just fine, just controlling the ledge against Incineroar just not enough when he's willing to swing on you. And then Incineroar in control of the platforms themselves. That bomb flow was hilarious. Like, Incineroar controlling the plats, and as you mentioned, the Rising Nairs, like, just keeping Peach out of the sky. I think Rising Nair in conjunction with Darkest Lariat really helped deny the airspace from ForHim. And denying airspace from Daisy is a big deal. All of a sudden, she has to pick grounded approaching options. She has to be careful with her buttons in the air. If she goes too high, then she's prone to just getting up aired or maybe even cross-chopped, or, as we saw multiple instances in that game 1 alone, Alolan whipped and just thrown out the sage.
And I guess that's where the that rising nair, even if it's hit with a weak nair, can be a little bit greedier than just going with a up air as instead, because up air may combo into another up air, but nair could set up for platform tech chases, which means Alolan whip is on the table even if you're not even on the same plane, and that's pretty big for a character that thrives off of landing those big haymakers.
So Game 2 is bringing us to Final Destination, and okay, I get it because we saw how well Shaine was playing off the plats. We saw how well having landing mix-ups was helping. That part makes sense. Maybe streamlining the balance of the ledge works out really well for him. But at the same time, now you're presenting a stage where Incineroar can threaten to jump you because of his ample amount of anti-airs.
I feel like this is a stage that, again, in practice, or at least in theory, is really good for Peach in a variety of matchups. But it's really good for the style of Peach that you see players like Lingling play, where they're very, very combo heavy, and are looking to maximize the reward off of any stray hit. For the type of play that ForHim has been going for, which has been very focused on full hopping a lot more, floating at just out of range, this may prove a little bit more temperamental because of these constant hitboxes that are always so close to landing and so close to closing out stocks much sooner.
Now just hunting around for a grab or a little whip to try and
really hunting.
But this TI is phenomenal for Shaine. A fine understanding of how to pilot this character around regardless of advantage or not. Constantly forced to return? Look at this. This Incineroar truly said never die until the last moment.
Granted, part of that is on ForHim, because we've seen him twice now. The punish ForHim has gone for out of a on-stage whiffed cross-chop has been grab, which you can get any smash attack of your choosing should you whiff punish cross-chop. But it's moments like those that may be a little bit of just matchup unfamiliarity, or at the very least just a little bit of nerves. Winky face, by the way.
It's... Oh, hold on, we had a really solid connection there. Still had a jump though.
Yeah, just letting Shaine get away with a lot of these whiffs, just not trying to risk any approach or any errant hit, any errant stray hit, as long as he can help it. Which I guess is a very fair way to play against Incineroar, because one of those means you're dead.
I actually love that option. He was so far away from the ledge that he would have even been in proper positioning for punishing Peach's from ledge. But he had no reason to worry about jump from the ledge for an option or a get-up attack on like the rare instance it comes out. Just super good call out from Shaine, and now a match away from securing a spot in Winners Finals.
Stitch face, bro.
This Peach luck has been obscene, dude.
It's been so good.
Like sometimes I'll go for I'll watch player 4 play for a while, and I just won't see a Stitch face or even a Winky face for the longest time. Meanwhile, I'm watching other Peaches, and Mr. Saturn is basically just a cameo appearance. The bomb-bombs are plenty, Stitch face all over the place. It's rough out here.
It's something you can't really teach. Luck just favors one people or another. This is coming from a guy that's been thwacked at 0, so this, it just kind of happens.
What's the option? Ooh, the little face got so cute. Oh, that's dangerous. Speaking of the Stitch faces.
Yeah, another one.
Oh, these high returns to the stage are so risky, but ForHim has been putting themselves in position to cover lateral spaces so confidently that it's making these risky plays work out well for the Incineroar.
You know what I'm waiting for? Up smash. Oh, well, dash attack will do
I was
too.
going to say the same thing. I was actually going to follow up by saying it's a really nice out of parry punishment where dash attack can't come into space, but lo and behold, dash attack out of parry is going to work just fine as Shaine takes the set. And we'll be seeing him later against Kage Ice. We're looking at winners finals as Incineroar versus Hero. Truly the two most representative characters of DNA.EXE.
Yeah, it's very a tale of two cities when it comes to a matchup like this. It's you've got the variability that comes with Hero, the constant fluctuation of his style, which can dramatically change whether or not you find Accelerado, Psych Up, or all you manage to see are things like Bounce and Sizzle. How you play a matchup and your flowchart because of it can dramatically shift depending on the character your opponent is and just what you get mid-match. Meanwhile, Incineroar is gonna be a little bit more straightforward with how he goes about things, but that doesn't make it any less terrifying.
I'd just like to point out the prospect of Hatchet Man coming down on revenge.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is truly like unstoppable force, immovable objects. There's so many things that can go wrong for both of these players in so many little ways, and it's in one of those ways where it's like people always throw up their hands and say that you can't just roll down a matchup to just its bare tools. You can't just look at, oh, character wins because of X or Y or Z. This is one of these matchups where I feel like everything could go wrong for that very reason. You pick out one tool and everything becomes disastrous. Whoosh interrupts half of everything that Incineroar wants to go for. Thwack can just get through any of the armored moves. Incineroar's Alolan Whip just sort of tells Hero to go away and stay go away.